So let's resume, okay? So the idea now is for me to show you how we can build interfaces and how we can interact with it. How we can, for example, change, like for example, the text here when you press a button or stuff like that, when the user interacts with our application. Okay? So, if I delete this, my text view, okay, so I have nothing on my screen, okay. One thing that I normally use to do is here on the middle, you have all the settings of the application. You have here, for example, in this little eye here, you have here show system UI. When you put that, it shows similar to the screen that we are used to on the phone. So that way is better for us because we see the same way that's going to look like on the application. Okay? So normally I put always that. Okay? So I'm going to drag and drop here one text view. Okay? So I'm going to get the text. I'm going to drag and drop here a text view. And put here on the middle of the screen, okay? Mm-hmm. So just says text view on the middle of the screen. Now if I press play, even though I have put it on the middle of the screen, it shows on the top left of the screen. Okay? Why is that? In Android, what we have many different font sizes, and we need to deal with this difference. And Android, one way that we could do that, it has constraint layouts. You have seen here this little circle, blue circle. If I put my mouse here, for example, on the top, and drag and drop to all the way up, it's changing. Mm-hmm. And now I position it, for example, like kind of like this. Now I put a constraint to the top that says here 140 dps distance between the top. If I press play now, it has this distance here. It doesn't have for the left or right because I didn't put one for the left or right. So every component, visual component, you always need one constraint vertically and one horizontally, one from the X and one from the Y. So I can put also here pick up on the left, drag and drop to the left, and also position, kind of like this. Now if I press play, it appears the same position as it is here. Okay, so this is the constraint layout. Okay, always need to drag and drop. Okay, I can put a constraint to the between here on the top and here at the bottom also. So we see that changed. Now it's not a line, but kind of like a cyclic line. So it's not a straight line anymore. Why is that? Because now it doesn't have a number here, if you see also. It has not the number that be here, 50. It's kind of like 50%. So it's kind of like on the middle. So if I change here, for example, 20%, so it's only 20% more or less of the swing. Okay? So we have these two types of constraints. And I can also do for the horizontal as well. So I can put it between 0 and 100. Okay. So we're going to put all the way on the top, kind of like here. It's good. And then I want to, instead of have the text view change the text here, I want to change on my code. How do I do that? Okay. We do that with the R class. Okay. The R class is the one that glues together the layout and the Java code. The layout is the view, and the Java code is the behavior. Okay. So we have here the ID, the identification of this component. So in order for me to access this component in this text view on the Java code, I need to use this ID here. So I'm going to go here on the main activity, and after I set the content view, the set content view, you will do R layout activity main. You're going to get everything that has here on this XML, and you put, and you create the components here, so I can use it. Okay. So I want to change the text view. What do I need to do? I need to declare it. So text view. One thing about Android, everything that you're going to use it needs to be imported. Okay, so if I type here text view, it will give me an error. Why is that? Because I didn't import it. Okay. If you have this error here, and you put your mouse on top, it has an option here, import class. So if you click that, it will import it for you here. So make it easier for you, okay? But if you want, you can also type this import here, okay? Everything on Java normally you need to import it in order to use, okay? So after the set content view, what do I need to do? I need to say to Android to glue together these two components. The component that's on XML and the one that's on here my code. It has a special function for that. It's called find view by ID. And I need to pass it here, my ID. So the ID, I type it here text view? No. I ask for it from the R class. So R, give me the ID text view. So every ID that we put there on the XML, it will appear here, r.id. So it make it easier. Okay. So now I can do text view dot set text number 2. If I press play now, you see appeared here number 2. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put another component here now. A button. So, I'm going to drag and drop here the button. Okay. And one thing about the constraints, you can put the constraints between the button and the screen itself. So, put the constraint, for example, to the left here, to the right. Okay. If you put that constraint that you're not happy with, you can select it and delete it. Okay. You can. Okay. But I can also put constraints. I want always to this button to be a constraint with this text view. So I want always to be on the middle of this text view. So I put the constraint left to the left of text view and right to the right of text view. And also the top of the button to the bottom of the text view with some space. Okay, but what's disadvantage? Because now if I change the text view, it changes also the button. Because all the constraints of the buttons are relative to the text view. So you can, sometimes it's easier for you to do kind of like this, okay? So I have a text view and a button. Now I want, when I press the button, to change this text here, okay? How do I do that? There's two forms that we can use to do that, but I'm going to show you today one form. Probably next class I'm going to show another way of doing the buttons, okay? One way we need to create a method, a public method, public void, so it has no return. So public void, and I'll call it button clicked, and then here as a parameter I need a view. So when I start typing and it appears this IntelliSense, if I select it here, what do I want? It will automatically import from here upstairs. Okay. If I see here, I don't have any importation for the view, but if I select it here, it will appear here for me. Okay. So the autocomplete is kind of like your friend here. Okay. Why do I need this view here? Every component, visual component, is a view. So it actually, this kind of like receives the button that was clicked, okay? So it can interact with it, can change properties from it, and stuff like that. Now, when the button was clicked, I want to change it, the text. So text view dot set text to button clicked. Now I'm going to press play. So we have here number 2 button. If I press here button, nothing happens. Why? We still need the button on the XML to know what to do when you press it. Okay. So here we go to activity main, the XML, select the button, and here we have one attribute called onClick. If I open this combo here, it will show here button clicked. But why it shows button clicked? Because everything on that activity that has that format, public void, name of the function, receives a view, can be an onClick button. So it will appear here as an option that I can select it here. So now I selected here. Now if I press play again, and I press the button, it shows button clicked. Okay? Yes.
Can you show the code, please?
Yeah, sure. It's too bright the room, right? For the this we cannot. No. Oh, it has it. Oh, let's see if it's make it better. Yes.
So every time we want to add something to the screen, we have to take the code linked to the object.
Yes, everything that you need on the behavior to change on the XML, you need to put the ID or put a function, something like that.
Here,
You can only set the percentage when you have the both sides. Both sides. Okay, now, yes, now it's just selected here. Yes. Yeah, we are changing the text from here to something else. Here you type hello world select here. Okay, let's see. You type it. Sorry, I understand wrong. You type it here, hello is select, on the XML. For me, it's text view. Okay. Everything that's here is customized here goes and get built here on the set content view. But then before I show to the user, I change it to number 2. So that's why it shows number 2. Okay? Yes? Okay, let's see here. You need to set the, your ID is text view 2. So here we're going to take the text view 2. Okay? Yes. Here to save, click the button, let's click it. Complete. What to do? Yes, yes. Okay, here see if you update it. If you stop your mouse for a little bit, it says import class. Okay. Yes, import it for you. Also this one, you need to import as well. This one says it doesn't exist. Here.
You call the text view 2. Change it here. Two. Now probably good to go.
Thank you.
Action here. Select the button. Then you have to drop it to call.
那代码打了。他们这个这个行业这个这些可能这里可能在看到还有一些就把这些行业覆盖掉，咱们不把这个2覆盖掉，这个没有问题。
I took it out away because it's not appear here. I don't know why someone changed it. Because it's supposed to have property. Now it's great, so I have to go back to the activity main.
Yes, select the button and open here. Select this one.
Or should I have to here to one?
Very good. The view is the type of the variable. And the first variable. Yes.
And the second view is name.
It's the name of the variable.
So where we use this
You're not used anywhere, it's just to be adapted to on click, so you can accept as a click function.
when we click and
It goes to call this function.
Yes. So we can interact anything here.
Yeah, you can call it view, my view, no problem.
So the type
You just need to have typed view.
so the type one must be
Yes.
okay.
This text view, what's the text view is from?
No, text view in here. It's receiving from the activity main the text view.
Oh, okay, so this is the type.
The type, yes.
Where can I find it? No, it's the name.
Now this is the type, the name is text view.
It's not the idea of
This
the
is the name and this is the type.
Yes.
so why we say the same as the number of the ID of the
I always try to make the same name as the ID and the name of the variable. But you can put different, no problem.
just for the SQL.
Yes.
So I can, in fact, this is an instantiation
It is not a function, it's a variable.
If I click this. So where is it? Where is it?
So that we can change this string. But
Yes.
but not this one.
Yeah, but you
Because
only change here because it's defined there.
It's the same of the text.
Yes,
here.
exactly.
So it's this one, this one. This one is called text view.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the text number.
But
The ID.
The ID here.
this
The
ID.
ID.
And here, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can change it to 2 or 3. One,
Yes,
two.
you need to change also the Java code. You have to have say exactly equal as this one here.
So it's ID of this to this.
The ID, yeah, the identification.
So if he changes here, he also changes here.
No, you do not change here. You need to change on both places, so they both look the same.
So here and here.
No, here and here need to be the same.
This is the ID of
Yes. Yeah.
the small window here.
Yeah,
And this one is
is the variable that you're going to pick up to change the things.
Yes, you told me that we grab the XML first.
Mhm.
In the XML, it has this ID.
Yeah.
So we grab the ID and then pass it in the main main activity. In the main activity, we create each the same name.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Can be
or can be other same.
Yeah.
Can be other names.
Yes.
And we pass this to this, and we change the parameters in the activity.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Normal lines you have like hard coded. So it's always be 100 for name and 100 for line. And this one will be percentage. Which is all 80% on the top. The main difference you see when you change the font. So it's on our tablet. Normally it's easier for you to work in percentage if you go to work with different devices. Okay? Yes. Yeah, the same problem that you have over there. Okay, if you cannot find the button on click here on the XML, there's apparently some installation that you click here on the button and you cannot find this property on click. Okay, so we can do another way. We need the ID of the button, so button. Okay, then on the Java code, we are going to create a button. And here on the, you're going to see button. And in order to get the button from the XML, we do the find view by ID. Find view by ID, r.id.button, the same one that I put it there. Now we are going to change a property to say what? When it gets clicked, do something. Okay? So button dot set on click listener new, and you select the first one. Why am I saying to select the first one? Because there's a lot of code here. When you select it, it creates everything for us. So every time it gets clicked, it calls this function inside of here. This is called a listener. Okay, it's a design pattern that says it keeps listening to clicks. So every time a click is listened, it goes to this function. Okay, it's pretty much the same thing, so with more code. Yes.
Can you do it the second time, please?
Do it what?
The method part, can you do it what you did?
Yes, I'm going to explain again. Okay, so I create here the button. Okay, declare it here. Okay, now we do the find view by ID, so I can get. It has to have the same ID here as the one here on the button. Then I do set on click listener. So every time it clicks, it goes to this function here. In order to do that, I start typing new on, and appear here for me, view on click listener. So I select this first one and create everything for me. Okay, then I say text view dot set text, and I create here the text. Click. Okay, if I press.
If I do this and And if I have the on one click, but I also do this, will it be a contradiction between two options?
Yeah, what's happening here?
Yes.
This set on click list, this one says set on click list, but on the creation. And this substitutes this one. So actually when you here say button clicking and here says click. When I click, it just appears click. Why? I registered this one as click listener, then I registered this one, I change for this one. So actually what's working now is this one here.
So the priority is click listener is always superior than
Yeah, on the code, not on the XML. Because this one is defined on the XML, this one on the code. So the code has prioritization. Okay?
The second one is XML. And
This-
the third one is code.
Yeah. Now I'm going to go and put one edit text here, okay? Still copy?
So when we write like this, and the code button is useless, right?
Yes. Normally you need to choose one, this or this one, how to work. The problem is some installation here on these machines, this is not working. So that's why I showed this other form.
But one question.
Yes?
How do we apply our code? Our
You want to show or see on the application?
yeah, how we will run it?
You have here the play button.
It's for the code.
Yeah. For me it's not play, but let's stop here. Now it appears. Here's play, so I press play and put on the device.
But from the code, not from the activity main or from the code?
The activity main is built and show it here.
So that means we don't need to save the code and after we run the code.
No. Every time you press play here, normally the code gets saved and then build it to the device. Okay? Now what I want to put here also, you have here text, and I'm going to put one edit text. Okay? Going to put it here. Put some constraints. So I just select the first one, the plain text one. Put here to the left, and here to the right of the bottom. The top of one to the bottom of the other. And that's it. So this edit text is what? When you press, it not appears a keyboard, so you can type information. Okay, it's a form of user input. Okay. One thing about that you normally don't want to do. Here says name, but if you want to type anything, you need to take it off, then type what you want. Okay. So normally we take off this, the text, normally we put empty. So now we're going to get here the text. So the same principle. We need to declare it here. So start typing edit text. Then you make an import for us. Edit text. Then we go here on the creation, and I'm going to do here edit text receives find view by ID r.id. I don't think let's see what's the ID of the text. Text person name. So we're just going to call it edit text. So I make it easier. My ID. Okay. So every time it changes, it says you need to refactor. Okay, because you need to change in a lot of places. Okay, so now I call edit text just. So ID dot edit text. Then I can say edit text dot set text 0. So it says 0 here. Okay. So now what do I want to do? I want this button will be it you get the number from here. When I press the button, you get the number from here and put it here. Okay. So how am I going to do that? So instead of the set text click, I'm going to get the text from the text and pass it to the text view. So here on the click, I'm going to string s receives edit text dot get text dot to string. Okay. Because actually the text here, that side is not a string, okay, it's another type, so I need to convert it to string. Then I'm going to say the text view to receives the text that's on there, so S. So now if I press here, oops. If I press the button, see, 0, 0. If I type something else and press the button, something else also appears here. Okay? Now instead of working with texts, I want to work with a number. So I change here. You're going to pick up a number and add 1 and put it here. So if I type here 1, it will appear here 2, 3, and so on. Okay? How do I do that? First, I need I put here int num 0, for example. Okay. No, I don't need this part here. Okay, sorry about that. Don't need. I can do everything here. So here I get as a text. I can convert this text, this string, to a number. Okay. So I'm going to convert int num equals integer value of s. Now I can do num plus plus to increase 1. And then I set the text to be here. Number plus num. So now I have 0 here. I press the button here. It will appear number 1. If I put here number 42 and I press the button, it appears 43. Okay? Yes. Candidate. Here you are using image button. Yeah, since the image button, you need also here to the image button, not a button. Okay? Yeah, probably the best way to change for button. Okay?
I have a question.
Yes.
When I write before the number of
Mhm.
when I write the string s,
Yeah, because not using, yeah.
When I change here, when you type, it can't be
Yeah, because you're not putting there. You're putting there what? Number, 2 dots.
oh, so I should put s here.
Yeah, if you put S and you press the button, it will be there. Okay.
I missed something, the definition of good text and true.
Here you're setting text, and you set text, but you're not find view by ID. So this doesn't exist. You need to do the find view by ID first. Okay.
So I don't know why. Maybe it's
This you type everything, right? Yeah, because normally it's better for you to use this one.
I write directly.
Yeah, because probably it's a little mistake or a little typo. Okay. Yeah, because here, edit text, you're getting the image button.
you want to have here on the activity, it's going to get one text, the text, so if it's plain text. Yes, we need to put one plain text and put the ID and get the ID from the Java. Okay? Yes. It's crashing. Oh, let's see. It's because if you type something else, it does decide to change a number. If you sort of put a text, it's to say, oh, I cannot convert it, let's crash this. Okay. Let's go to here, log nav. Yes. No. Check the new error. A lot of things has happened after you. Yes, let's see here. You got no, it's button equals find the way here. Not up.
And this one, new, this one is going to be normal.
Yeah, normal.
And one is something.
No. It's already recorded. Okay.